Hi, this is YAMA of YAMA Spanish Language Solutions, and this is YAMA COOL-TURE. And this is going to be, well, I thought it was going to be a quick video, but it might just take a little bit longer than I thought. But I'm gonna talk about a review game that I use for finals, which is called XOCHIYAOYOTL. Okay. So before I continue, XOCHIYAOYOTL actually translates from Nahuatl as flower war or war of flowers. And this was the Aztecs would have these wars, these flower wars, once in a while, according to the Aztec calendar, or to the or when they needed. And some people, they say when they needed people to sacrifice, they would go and raid other nations and get their warriors or their people and bring them back for sacrifice. Our revisionist history says that it was more like an Olympics for the Aztecs, where they would go up against the nations that were around them, and they would just see who had better warriors. Okay. Anyway, so before I continue, so the decade since I've actually done a review packet where the students just write and stuff like that. Okay. So when I see a review packet like this, I just throw it in. It's like, well, what's the purpose of this? No. Okay. So what do we do? What do I use to review? Well, for the way I conduct my class, we do a lot of PQAs, personal question and answers, and that's how I review the grammar with the vocabulary that needs to be reviewed. Okay, so XOCHIYAOYOTL. How do you prepare for this game? Well, first before anything, you'll give the students this handout, or give them a handout where they have to where they have to find the vocabulary, the English words or Spanish words of parts of a city. Okay, so they have to find them and write them down. So that could take 15 minutes. On your first day, big poster board where they're gonna draw and color and label the buildings or the parts of the city. Okay, so that could take them, it could take them 2 days. That's including the 15 minutes of first working on the vocab. So it takes them 15 days. It takes them 2 days to draw and color and label all the pieces of the city. And also, like I said, also label them. What do we do after that? Okay, so after they're done drawing on the second day, let's say on the Monday, they start with the vocab. On the Monday, they start with the vocab, and then they start drawing. On the Tuesday, they should be done, and you give them. They should be done on a Tuesday, and then on the Wednesday. Usually what I do is we actually take a full day to review the grammar and the vocabulary, everything we've seen the whole year, but like I said, in PQAs, all right, in a very creative way, and that's a different thing of how I do it. So that's one full day, and then this is what the room kind of looks like. Okay, when the students arrive to the classroom, they already see that they're already in groups. So when they come in, you tell them, hey, go sit with your partner in a specific area. I might just tell them, hey, you two guys sit right here, you two guys sit right there, you two sit right there. There could be a group of 3, or there could be a group of 1, however it is that you want to work. And then here in the front, as you can tell, you can see it. It is right here. Okay. This is how, well, this is where the people, the contestants are actually going to be on this game. But before we continue, the maps, yes, the maps, the cities that they built. Well, guess what? When they come in, they're already on the whiteboard or blackboard, depending on what you have. Okay? And these things, these maps are going to become the board games. Actually, the game boards of for this game. All right? So, how does this game, how do you play this game? All right? Let's do this. Let's talk about how do you play this game. This right here, we're from the point of view of me, the professor. All right? So, there you go. So the way it works is like this. You pick two names at random from all the groups. They have to be obviously in different teams. Very important. I do not tell the students that what they're working on is for a game. This is just on the first day they're working on this, and it's going to be used later. They don't know yet what it's going to be for. And then once they see it here, they're like, oh, what's going on? So the way it works is you pick two names at random, and they come up here. And you pick, as the teacher, you pick a question that you want to ask them, and they have to tap. And the first one that taps and gets it correctly, well, actually they tap and they give the answer, and if they get it correctly and they beat the other person, this is what happens. The person that got beaten, they go back to their group. The person that actually got the answer right, what they get to do is this. If you look at the poster, there we go. What they get to do is the one that got the answer right, gets to come up to one of the buildings and destroy the building with a marker. Yep, just like you heard it. That's why you don't tell the students what they're going to be using this for. Okay? Why? Because the shock and awe, when you tell them that, the students are like, oh my goodness, what? It's like, yes, when you come up, that's going to be your reward. You get to come over to the town or the poster of the other team, the one you just beat, and scratch out one of their buildings. So the students have a little bit more of an incentive to try to get the answers correct, because they'll be like, oh my goodness, I worked so hard and so long. Hopefully you can see it. Yep, you can see it on this drawing or on this drawing or whatever drawing it is. Okay? So it's a little bit more of an incentive, and it's pretty shocking for the students. Now, what happens? There you go. What happens is this. What happens next is this. Okay, so the student already, he already went and then already scratched out. Now, what happens is this, is now that his group, his team has control of the board. That means that his partner can choose to go up against whoever he wants in the class. Anybody. He can go up against whoever they want. All right? So they come up, they choose somebody, they come up, and you ask the question, and okay, you got it right, and you go over there and you scratch out. Okay? And that's how the game is played. Very, very important. One of the things that I do tell the students is they cannot pick the same person. Like if a team wins, they cannot pick the other. They cannot pick the same person back to back. Okay, like Johnny and Jimmy cannot pick Sean back to back. There has to be one person in between Sean. Okay, it's like Sean, and then Marcus, and then Sean again. Okay, that's very important that you do that in the game. And Okay. So, what happens? Let's go back over here. What happens? Let's say that this is the very last building, right? This is the very last. Let me see. Move back a little bit. There we go. Let's say that this is the very last building that that exists. And guess what? We get it right here. Everything is destroyed. I write conquered. Now the question is, what happens to this team that just got beaten? Okay. Well, what happens is this: just like in any conquest, the victors will either assimilate those people into their own society, or they will ban them to other places. Okay. First, here the victor can write conquered or conquest or whatever it is that they want to write there, right? And then over here, let's see, and then the group that just won, the team that just won, might just decide. They'll decide whatever they want to do with the members of that other team. For example, they might just say, "Hey, Johnny and we want Johnny and Susie can go with the other team." Or they might just say, "Hey, Susie and Johnny, you go to that team." Or Susan, you can go to that team, and Johnny, you can go to that team because we really don't want you in our team. Okay, that's how the game can be played. That's what you do, or what they can do the moment that they control or have finished off a civilization, I call it, or a nation, like I call it. Now, the kids really like this game. It makes it fun. Especially during a week where, again, like I mentioned, they're given packets and they're just basically told to sit down and not do anything. Well, you know how it is. Just sit down and write and boring package, which I really detest. And the kids come here and they're in a game, but they're using the language that they have. Okay, they're actually using it. They have a lot of fun. You have a lot of fun because you're also part of it. You're seeing the interaction of the students. You do have to be pretty stern when you need to be stern, but the majority of the time, the students, because it's a game, they like letting their emotions fly, or just get out their emotions, especially if it was a Friday. Like today, or for example, like it was a Friday. Okay, so you would do this for Thursday and Friday. Now you see all these little groups. On the second day, on Friday, so if you start on Thursday, you have this. On Friday, by the end of Friday, instead of having all these little groups, you'll probably have around three big groups. Okay, so. That's how the game is played, and it's really fun for at least for me, and the kids love it. The kids love it. They have these opportunities where they're choosing the person and they get this power. They're empowered. You see all these rivalries all of a sudden build in just a 45-minute span. You have all these revenge matches, like, oh yeah, my turn, I'm gonna pick you, and this time I'm gonna beat you, and you know how a lot of students get uber competitive, which makes it interesting, makes it fun, as long as, again, you have to be able to curve their super or over competitiveness. And again, the awe of when somebody goes over to their poster and all of a sudden they scratch out something that they quote unquote worked really hard on. It gives them more of an incentive to want to go up there and do things right. It's a fun thing, and plus it mentally it gives them I think it's just different mentally for the students on a day. Okay, it's like it was a game. I mean, that's why I say it's a gamification of a review. Okay, now the layout of the classroom you already saw. is, you have all these groups like this, but when the students come in, first let me turn off the lights. So as the students come in, you have the lights off, and as you can tell on my right, you have this poster of Apocalypto, with the guy, with the warrior, and on my left, the Promethean board has the same poster, the same image coming out. Again, when you come into the classroom, again, from a classroom where it's all rows or whatever it is, and you have all this light, and you come into this class and you're like, holy crap, what are we doing here, right? What is this all about? And if you can listen, hopefully you can barely hear it. In the background, I have pre-Hispanic music running in a loop. All right, the students are like, what is that? Well, what is this that we're hearing? What is this whistling? It's like, it's just music. Okay, I'm trying to get as close as possible to, I guess, the feeling of actually being in a XOCHIYAOYOTL, right? And the competitiveness of being one-on-one, really, the students really like it. Anyway, back to the room and what it looks like. It's just to set the mood that it's going to be different to what they're probably used to or have done before. Okay. And turn those lights back on. Alrighty. It is kind of intimidating for some people when they come in. Anyway, so that is how I use the XOCHIYAOYOTL game as a review game for finals. And it's been successful for me. I've used this for a decade, and it's been really successful. It's really fun. And I want to give props to my friend, my colleague, Danielle Hendry, that taught me this game. She taught it to me it actually didn't have a name. And we used different things when she taught it to me. It was, deer, and it was different. It was different. And I just decided, you know what? We're going to use this where we're going to use cities and a map and all these words. And we'll see what happens. It's been a total success for me. At least for me, total success. And I love it. I can't wait for the last 2 days before finals, where the only thing we're just doing is just playing, having fun, and just socializing, and learning. You learn having fun, or you learn playing. All right? So, anyway. So, I'm Yama from Yama Spanish Language Solutions. This was YAMA Culture. And if you guys have any comments or any suggestions, please write them down there where If you liked it, please press like, subscribe to the channel. And I want to give some shout outs. Let me see if I have anybody I can shout out here. Okay. Nope. So my shout outs are for all the teachers, everybody that's in on this last week of reviews before finals. Yeah, I know right now we're kind of like calm down, students. You got a whip and you got a little you're basically just a trainer, like a tamer. You're trying to find out how creative ways for the students to engage and be able to prepare for their final. And there's a way. And again, just shout out to all the teachers that are right now in this last 2 weeks. And yes, you can do it before a nice and deserved and mainly earned 2-week break. Okay, so with that said and done, I don't know if you have any questions, but you can definitely write them down, or if you have any ideas. Oh yeah, I wanted to say that if you wanted any of your videos translated or subtitled to Spanish or English, you can definitely contact me. Or if you want online tutoring, you can, for Spanish, any level, high school, middle school Spanish, you can definitely contact me. So I'll see you when I see you.